How to become a freight broker in 2026. That is what we're covering today. And I'm going to walk you through 6 steps of what I wish I knew when I first got started. And the one thing that changed everything for me after 9 months of straight rejection. And don't worry, you do not need trucking experience, a logistics degree, or any of that. You just need to know what actually works. So let's get into it. So here's the thing that I wish someone had told me. Set up your freight broker authority as soon as possible, even if you do not feel ready, even if you are still learning, because here's what I didn't know early on is that shippers care about how old your authority is. And when I first started, I thought I just needed to get my paperwork filed and I would be good to go. I was completely wrong. Every single call that I made for the first 8 months went the exact same way. Be like, hey, yeah, rate looks good. How long have you had your authority? 3 months. Oh, call us back next year. Right click. They didn't want to hear from me. It didn't matter how good I was. It didn't matter how professional I sounded. They didn't trust me because my authority was brand new. And here's the thing. I couldn't speed up time. So I had to wait it out. Month 1, month 2, month 3, rejection after rejection. And by month 6, I was living on credit cards. By month 7, I missed my 3rd mortgage payment. And by month 8, Wells Fargo was sending me foreclosure letters. I was on the edge, and the whole time I kept thinking, if I just started my authority 6 months earlier while I still had a job, I would already have clients. But here's the lesson in that. Get your authority filed now, even if you're not ready to take the first load, even if you are still learning, because the clock starts ticking the day that you file. And the longer you wait, the longer you'll be stuck in the rejection loop. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, well, I don't want to wait 9 months like you did, there is good news. There is a way around this, and I'll tell you about it at the end of the video. But first, let's keep on going. Step 2, pick your niche. And I mean, really pick it. Most new brokers try to be everything to everyone, and they'll move anything, anywhere, anytime. And that sounds good in theory, more options, more opportunities, but that is wrong. You can't compete with billion-dollar brokerages like Sage Robinson or Coyote on price. They've got insane volume, they've got relationships, they've got buying power. But here's what you can do. You can own a specific problem that other brokers aren't solving. Let me tell you what happened with my first client. After 9 months of rejection, I finally got a company to talk to me. It was a small manufacturing business, and they made products that were relatively fragile. And their biggest pain wasn't the cost of shipping, it was the constant damage. And they told me, well, we've worked with other brokers in the past, but every time something breaks, the carriers never pay out on the claims, so we're losing tens of thousands of dollars. And right there, that's when I knew I had something. I didn't try to compete with them on price. I didn't promise faster delivery. Instead, I told them, what if I could protect every shipment with third-party insurance? Yes, it will cost a little bit more, but you will never lose money on damaged freight again. And so they thought that sounded pretty good and gave me a shot. And guess what? That solution has saved them hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years. And they've never stopped shipping with me, not once. And that's 12 years and well over $500,000 in commissions from one client. So here's the point. Don't be a generalist. Be the broker that solves a specific problem. That could be, maybe it's temperature controlled freight for food distributors. Maybe it is flatbed hauling for construction companies, or potentially white glove service for high-end furniture. Just pick your battlefield, own it, and then suddenly you're not competing against everybody else. And you are the one option for that problem. Step 3, and this is the one that most people get wrong. Everyone tells you to cold call, make 100 calls a day, hustle harder. And yes, you do need to reach out to people, but cold calling is overrated. Now, cold listening, on the other hand, that is where the money is. And so here's what I mean by that. When I finally got that manufacturing company on the phone, I didn't try to pitch them. I just asked them good questions, like, hey, what's your biggest pain, with your current shipping process right now? How are you guys handling your damage claims? What would make your life easier? And then they told me, they laid out the entire problem. Carriers wouldn't pay claims. They were losing money. They were frustrated. And I didn't have to convince them that they had a problem because they already knew it. I just had to show them that I could be the one to solve it. And most brokers walk into conversations trying to sell their service by saying, oh, we're so reliable. We're super fast. We're affordable. And that's cool, but so is everybody else. So instead, ask better questions. Figure out what is keeping them up at night, and then show them that you are the answer. And that is how you win. Not by being the loudest or the cheapest, but by being the most useful to them in their business. Now let's jump into step 4. Have your solution ready before you get the yes. Because here's what most brokers do. They land the client and then they scramble to figure out how to deliver. And that's just backwards. When that manufacturing company told me about their damage problem, I didn't say, okay, well, let me figure that out and get back to you. I already had the answer. I had spent time researching third-party cargo insurance. I knew what it cost. I knew how it worked, and I knew how to position it so that it sounded valuable, right? right? So when they told me their pain, I said, okay, well, here's exactly how I can solve that for you. And then boom, I had instant credibility with them. Because see, your shippers don't just want someone who can move their freight. They want someone who has thought about their business, someone who has done the work up front. So before you start reaching out, do this. Pick your niche, research the common problems in that space, and then build solutions before anybody asks for them. So that way, when somebody does finally say, oh, well, tell me more, you're not actually fumbling on the phone. You're like ready to rock. And step 5, get your first client and then prove that you are worth keeping. Your first load does not have to be huge. It doesn't have to make you rich. It just has to start the engine. My first load was like Cleveland to Phoenix. It was a single pallet. The commission barely covered my phone bill that month, but I executed it flawlessly. I stayed in great communication with the client. I updated them every step of the way, and I made sure that nothing went wrong. And that built a lot of trust with that client right off the bat. Because here's the truth. Your first client is just giving you a test. They're not hiring you to move their freight. They're hiring to see if you can handle their freight and handle it well. So if you deliver that first load in a timely manner, they'll give you a second, and then a third, and then a fourth. And that manufacturing company I was talking about, they started with one shipment, and then it became weekly, and then multiple times a week, and then they referred me to other businesses. Now, 12 years later, they're still shipping with me, so don't sleep on your first client. Treat them like they are your only client, because in the beginning, they actually are. And if you take good care of them, they'll become the foundation of everything that you build. Now, step 6. This is the secret most people miss, and that's the fact that you do not need 100 clients. You just need like 5 great clients. The manufacturing company I was talking about, over the last 12 years, they paid me over $500,000 in commissions. One client over $500,000. I've got another client I've worked with for 6 years, another client for 8 years, and these relationships compound over time. Most brokers chase volume. They think, oh, I need more clients. I need more clients. But here's what actually works. Go deep instead of going wide. Focus on keeping the clients that you have and solve more problems for them so that you become irreplaceable. In my book, The Millionaire Middleman, I call this the 5-figure framework. It's about finding 5 clients who will each pay you $50,000 to $100,000 a year. That's $250,000 to maybe $500,000 in business from 5 relationships. You do not need to be everywhere. You do not need to post on social media every day. You do not need to run ads or send traffic to funnels. None of the online business stuff. You just need to be useful to a handful of companies. And if you do that well, they will never leave you. That's the model. That is how you build real income and real freedom without becoming an influencer or running a marketing agency or any of that stuff. Just solve real problems for real businesses and just do it better than everybody else. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what about that 9-month wait? I don't have 9 months to live on credit cards and hope it works out. And I get it, but here's the good news. You don't have to wait 9 months like I did. When I started, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a system. I didn't have anyone showing me the shortcuts. But now we've figured out a way to help people skip the authority age problem altogether. And it's a unique mechanism that lets you start landing clients in as little as 3 or 4 weeks, even if you're brand new, rather than waiting, months and months for shippers to trust you. And that's one thing that we teach inside of our program. And if you want to learn more about that, I'll tell you how at the end of this video. But first, let me give you a quick recap. Step 1 was start your authority early, even if you're not ready. Step 2 was pick your niche, own a specific problem instead of trying to be everything to everyone. Step 3, ask better questions, because cold listening beats cold calling every time. Step 4, build your solution before you have clients so that you can be ready when opportunity shows up. Step 5, get your first yes and then prove that you are worth keeping, because your first client is your foundation. And step 6, go deep instead of wide. 5 great clients can change your life. And that's it. That's the roadmap. And look, this isn't some trendy side hustle. This isn't drop shipping or running Facebook ads or building a personal brand. This is a real business moving real products for real companies with no inventory, no ads, no followers required. Just you, a laptop, and the ability to solve problems. So thanks for getting to the end of the video. If you want to connect with other people starting their freight brokerages, join our free freight broker community. The link is in the description. And if you're ready to go deeper, grab my book, The Millionaire Middleman, for $7. It's also in the description. It'll help you get started on your journey. And also, if you're serious about launching your freight brokerage and want to learn how to skip that 6 to 12 month wait, we've got a workshop coming up. The link's in the description below. Check it out, and we'll see you guys on the next one.